These 6 isometric exercises will completely transform your lower body. And what if I told you that it's totally possible to achieve incredible results in your legs without even moving? That's right. Most people believe that in order to have strong, defined legs, you need to squat until you can barely walk. But the reality isn't quite like that. Today, you'll see 6 isometric exercises focused on the lower body that, if done with proper technique and consistency, can completely transform your body, no matter your current age. Before we begin, please leave your name and city in the comments to let us know where you're watching from. Isometric exercise 6, horse stance. Have you ever seen those statues of samurai warriors or martial artists in combat stance? That position with legs apart and semi-bent is exactly what we're talking about here. The horse stance is one of the oldest and most effective isometric exercises for building strength and endurance in the legs, especially the quadriceps and adductors. The great benefit of this exercise lies in the simultaneous activation of multiple muscle groups. While your quadriceps work hard to hold the semi-squat position, your adductors are activated to stabilize the leg spread, and your glutes engage to maintain hip alignment. It's practically a full lower body workout. To perform it correctly, start by standing with your feet slightly wider than shoulder width apart. Now, turn your feet outward about 30 degrees. Keep your spine straight and gaze forward. Begin lowering yourself slowly as if sitting in an imaginary chair. Lower yourself until your thighs are parallel to the floor or your knees form a 90-degree angle. Here's the secret. Keep your knees aligned with your toes, never letting them collapse inward. Your arms can extend forward to help with balance, or you can hold them in a martial arts position with bent elbows close to your body. A common mistake is letting the knees go too far past your toes, which can place unnecessary stress on your ligaments. Another mistake is not lowering yourself enough, staying too high, and not creating enough tension in the target muscles. It's also crucial not to round your back. Keep your core engaged at all times to protect your lower back. For beginners, I recommend starting with 3 sets of 20 to 30 seconds in the position, with 60 seconds of rest between sets. As you progress, gradually increase to sets of 45 seconds, then 60 seconds, and eventually up to 2 minutes per set. You can do this 3 to 4 times per week. And before I forget, if you feel muscle tremors during the exercise, know that it's completely normal and even desirable. It means your muscle fibers are being pushed to the max, and that's exactly what we want. Exercise 5, static lunge position. The second exercise on our list is the static lunge position, a movement that will make your quadriceps beg for mercy while intensely working your glutes and hamstrings. This is an extraordinary exercise for developing unilateral strength, correcting leg imbalances, and significantly improving your stability. The key difference in this exercise is the uneven weight distribution between the legs, which intensifies the work in the front leg. Additionally, it recruits stabilizing muscles that are usually not as engaged in bilateral exercises like the traditional squat. This results in a more harmonious and functional development of your legs. To perform this exercise correctly, start standing with your feet hip width apart. Step forward with one leg, creating a comfortable distance, not too short or excessively long. Slowly lower yourself until both knees form an angle of about 90 degrees. The front knee should be aligned with the ankle, never extending past the line of your toes. The back knee should be close to the floor but not touching it, with the heel elevated. Keep your torso upright, your core engaged, and your gaze forward. Your arms can be by your sides or placed on your waist to help with balance. Among the most common mistakes is leaning the torso too far forward, which shifts the tension from the quadriceps to the lower back. Another frequent error is not lowering enough, not reaching the ideal 90-degree angle, which drastically reduces the benefits of the exercise. It's also very common to see people with their front knee misaligned, collapsing inward, which can lead to long-term injuries. For this exercise, I recommend 3 sets of 30 seconds per leg, with 60 seconds of rest between sides. As your endurance increases, you can progress to 45, 60, and eventually 90 seconds per leg. And don't forget to work both sides equally to avoid muscle imbalances. An interesting variation to further increase the intensity is to raise your arms above your head while holding the position. This raises your center of gravity, making the exercise more challenging for your stabilizing muscles. Exercise 4, static glute bridge. If you're aiming for that rounded and defined glute shape everyone admires, you can't miss including the static glute bridge in your routine. This isometric exercise is fantastic for isolating and deeply working the entire gluteal muscle group, as well as secondarily engaging the hamstrings and lower back. The great benefit of this movement lies in the precise activation of the gluteus maximus, medius, and minimus, which not only contributes to aesthetics, but also significantly significantly improves posture and reduces issues like lower back pain. Many people today suffer from what's called gluteal amnesia due to spending too much time sitting, and this exercise is the perfect remedy. To perform the static glute bridge correctly, lie on your back on a mat or comfortable surface. Bend your knees and place your feet on the floor, hip width apart at a distance from your glutes that allows you to form approximately a 90-degree angle at the knees. Keep your arms extended by your sides with your palms facing down. Now, press your heels into the floor and lift your hips until you form a straight line from your knees to your shoulders. The key here is to strongly contract your glutes at the top of the movement and maintain that contraction throughout the isometric hold. A very common mistake is not lifting the hips high enough, staying in an intermediate position that doesn't create adequate tension in the glutes. Another frequent mistake is overusing the lower back to hold the position, which can lead to back pain. To avoid this, focus on actively squeezing the glutes throughout the exercise. For this exercise, I recommend starting with 3 sets of 30 to 45 seconds in the elevated position, with 60 seconds of rest between sets. As your endurance improves, gradually increase to sets of 60 to 90 seconds. To intensify the work even more, you can raise one leg while keeping the hips elevated using only the strength of the other leg. This practically doubles the intensity for the side that is supporting the weight. In that case, reduce the time to 15 to 20 seconds per side initially. Remember to breathe normally throughout the exercise. Many people unconsciously hold their breath during isometric exercises, which can unnecessarily raise blood pressure. Breathe in through your nose and exhale through your mouth in a controlled manner. Before continuing with the third exercise, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Having constant access to accurate, science-based information is what will help you consistently improve your body without the risk of injury. Exercise 3, single leg squat with drop. Now let's move on to an exercise that will test not only your strength but also your balance and coordination. The single leg squat with drop is a more advanced isometric variation that intensely works the quadriceps, glutes, and stabilizing muscles of the core and ankle in a way that few exercises can. The key difference with this movement lies in the unilateral work combined with the drop position, which creates exceptional tension throughout the posterior chain, especially in the glute of the supporting leg. This exercise is particularly effective for correcting imbalances between the left and right sides of the body, in addition to drastically improving your body awareness. To perform this exercise correctly, start by standing on one leg with the other leg slightly bent and raised off the ground. Keep your hands on your waist or extended forward to help with balance. Now, lean your torso forward while extending the free leg backward, creating a straight line from your heel to your head, as if you were in airplane position. Lower yourself until the thigh of the supporting leg is parallel to the floor or as close to that as you can get, and hold that position. The weight should be evenly distributed across the whole supporting foot. One of the most common mistakes in this exercise is letting the knee of the supporting leg collapse inward, which can lead to injuries. Always keep the knee aligned with the second toe of the foot. Another frequent mistake is rounding the back during the movement, which shifts the tension from the target muscles to the lower back. Keep your spine in a neutral position throughout the exercise. It's also common to see people unable to find the proper balance, which prevents them from holding the position for the necessary amount of time. For beginners, I recommend starting with 3 sets of 15 to 20 seconds per leg, with 30 seconds of rest between sides. As your stability and strength improve, gradually progress to sets of 30 and eventually 45 seconds per leg. Don't try to progress too quickly with this exercise. Developing stability takes time. If you're struggling in the beginning, you can lightly use the support of a wall or chair to assist with balance, gradually reducing that support as you progress. Another effective strategy is to focus your gaze on a fixed point in front of you, which significantly helps with maintaining balance. This exercise may seem challenging at first, but trust me, the results are incomparable, especially in the lateral definition of the thighs and in the development of the glutes. The sense of achievement when you master this movement is also extremely rewarding. Exercise 2, isometric calf raise. We can't talk about complete leg transformation without giving proper attention to the calves, that often neglected area by most fitness enthusiasts. Well-developed calves don't just complete the aesthetics of the legs, giving them that proportional and athletic look, but they also significantly improve your performance in activities like running, jumping, and even in daily posture. It's no coincidence that calves are known as the heart of the legs for their ability to pump blood. The isometric calf raise works intensely on the gastrocnemius and soleus soleus muscles, responsible for the shape and power of that region. The key difference in the isometric version is the prolonged tension that deeply challenges the muscle fibers, leading to a more efficient stimulus for hypertrophy and toning. To perform this exercise correctly, stand preferably near a wall or chair for light support with your fingertips, just to help with balance. Keep your feet parallel, at hip width apart with the weight evenly distributed. Now raise yourself onto the tips of your toes as high as you can, contracting your calves strongly. Here's the crucial point. Instead of lowering immediately as you would in a traditional exercise, stay in the elevated position, holding the isometric contraction for the designated time. A very common mistake in this exercise is not raising the heels high enough, which drastically reduces the effectiveness of the movement. Another frequent mistake is transferring the weight only to the inner or outer forefoot instead of maintaining a balanced distribution across all the toes. This not only reduces the exercise's efficiency, but can also lead to alignment issues in the ankle. For this exercise, since the calf is naturally more resistant, I recommend starting with 4 sets of 30 to 45 seconds in the elevated position with 30 seconds of rest between them. As your endurance increases, progress to sets of 60 to 90 seconds. An interesting strategy is to alternate between sets with your feet parallel, which emphasizes the lateral gastrocnemius, and sets with your toes slightly pointed outward, which target the medial gastrocnemius, ensuring complete and balanced development. To further intensify the exercise, you can perform it with one leg at a time, which will double the intensity. In that case, start with shorter sets from 15 to 20 seconds per leg. Another challenging variation is to perform the exercise with the tips of your toes on a step or elevation, which allows for a greater range of motion and consequently more tension in the calves. Exercise 1. Wall sit. We've reached the last exercise in our series, and I can guarantee that I saved one of the most effective for last. The wall sit, also known as the invisible chair, is a classic isometric exercise that primarily targets the quadriceps, but also works intensely on the glutes, adductors, and core. The great benefit of this exercise lies in the intensity with which it recruits the muscle fibers of the quadriceps without any impact on the joints, making it safe even for individuals with a history of knee problems. Additionally, the specific position of the movement allows for a sustained contraction that few exercises can provide. To perform it correctly, lean your back against a flat wall with your feet parallel, hip width apart, and about 12 to 24 inches, 30 to 60 centimeters away from the wall. Slowly slide down while keeping your back fully supported against the wall until your thighs are parallel to the floor, forming a 90-degree angle at the knees. Your knees should be aligned with your ankles, never extending past your toes. Keep your arms relaxed by your sides, crossed over your chest, or extended forward to increase the challenge. A common mistake in this exercise is not descending enough, staying in a position that is too high and doesn't generate adequate tension in the quadriceps. On the other hand, it's also problematic to descend too much, making the knee angle smaller than 90 degrees, which can overload the joint. Another frequent error is only resting the shoulder blades on the wall while arching the lower back, which not only reduces the exercise's effectiveness, but can also cause discomfort. Make sure to keep your entire spine in contact with the wall. For beginners, I recommend starting with 3 sets of 30 seconds in the position, with 45 seconds of rest between sets. As your endurance increases, progress to sets of 45, 60, and eventually up to 2 minutes per set. This is one of those isometric exercises where you can truly advance toward longer durations as you adapt. To intensify the challenge, you can add weight to the exercise by holding a book, a water bottle, or even a kettlebell on your lap. Another effective variation is the one-legged wall squat, where you lift one leg while maintaining the position with the other. This variation is extremely challenging, so start with shorter sets of 15 to 20 seconds per leg. An important tip: it's normal to feel an intense burn in the quadriceps during this exercise. When the discomfort starts to rise, focus on deep, controlled breathing to help you push through the toughest moments. Inhale through your nose for 4 seconds and exhale through your mouth for 4 seconds. This technique not only helps you endure the discomfort, but also improves the oxygenation of your muscles. In addition to being extremely effective, the main beauty of these exercises is that you can do them absolutely anywhere. At home, at work, while traveling. There are no excuses for not sticking to the plan. Don't forget to take before photos to compare with your final results. This is an excellent way to track your progress and keep your motivation high. If you liked this and also want to discover other isometric positions that can work your upper body, we've left a video showing the best ones, appearing right now on the screen. Thank you for watching until the end, and may God bless you, my friend.